Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, a.k.a. Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive day. I'm on my way to go get it as always, man. I hope y'all doing the same. Just trying to stay cool in this hot-ass weather in Philadelphia. You see what I'm saying? On the road to 3K, we just hit the 2100 mark. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. All right, y'all, I had to make a video about this, man. My apologies for being inconsistent with the videos. I just been going live and shit like that. But I had to make a video about this because I need to expose the truth. And like I say on Mazuma TV, we hold motherfuckers accountable for what they do and what they should be doing, what they not doing, all that shit, man. And I had to speak about this. And obviously the topic is going to be surrounding Shakur Stevenson, William Zepeda, the WBC, and what's going on with Golden Boy Promotions. You see what I'm saying? So let's talk about it. So obviously I had just gotten word, shout out to Michael Benson for putting the word out there, that the WBC has ordered Shakur Stevenson to face William Zepeda next. I'm guessing based off of this that William Zepeda is the number one guy for the WBC title at lightweight. And this is a fight that a lot of people have been calling for even before the Tunyan fight. You know what I mean? Shakur Stevenson just fought last Saturday. Well, the Saturday before the one that just passed. And he had an absolutely dominant performance. A lot of criticism, but nonetheless, he got the win. And he was dominant in doing so. So, you know what I'm saying? Even before the Tunyan fight, people were calling for the William Zepeda fight. But, you know, I would see interviews from, like, Coach Panda, who's William Zepeda's boxing coach and shit like that. And you could tell that he had a lot of respect for Shakur Stevenson. And I'm going to keep it a buck. He didn't sound like he was too confident in Zepeda's, you know, chances going up against Shakur Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I called it. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that Coach Panda, you know, he's looking at other directions. You know, I think he was more, you know, encouraged to take on guys like Barancek and Lomachenko. But regardless, it seems like Shakur Stevenson is the last resort if you're talking to Coach Panda. You know what I mean? That's just my honest opinion. You can check out the Mill City boxing interviews for yourself to see if I'm wrong. But, you know, it's clear as day, you know, Shakur Stevenson isn't their priority in terms of who they want to face next. You feel what I mean? So now, you know, Oscar De La Hoya has come out, his scary ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to just say this. William Zepeda, he might be, you know, the fighter. He might not be scared of Shakur Stevenson. He might believe in his chances in beating Shakur Stevenson. I haven't heard much interviews from him speaking as if he's scared of Shakur at all. But the people around him don't believe in him at all. Whether it's Coach Panda or Oscar De La Hoya, they don't believe in him, and I'm going to tell you why. So with Oscar De La Hoya getting word that the WBC has ordered this fight for Shakur Stevenson, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, he takes a little slick approach, as some promoters do, because they're not going to jump out and just be like, oh, my fighter's not ready for Shakur. They're not going to say that because that's going to make their fighter look bad. You know what I'm saying? And they just going to look like ducks at the end of the day. So, you know, he takes a different approach, and he says, check this out, guys. Yeah, William Zepeda is such a badass that he has 4 sanctioning bodies to choose from. And we're the ones that's going to pick them at the end of the day. So he trying to flex and shit like that, making it seem like they're the ones that's in the power position and shit like that. You see what I mean? When ultimately they're the challengers. And it's not guaranteed that, you know, some like Tank is going to give him a shot. Tank is a WBA champion. You know what I'm saying? Who else is the champion? I think Barancek has the IBF. You know, that's not guaranteed that Barancek is going to fight him. And the WBO is Vasyl Lomachenko. There's no guarantee that he's going to fight him. And in all honesty, they saying Vasyl Lomachenko and Tank going to fight each other. So that's 2 people that's eliminated from the equation right now. Barancek, Bob Arum was talking about giving Keyshawn the opportunity. So who fucking knows exactly who William Zepeda is going to get the opportunity to fight? Because it's all starting to look like it's leading towards Shakur Stevenson. Oscar De La Hoya doesn't want any of that. You see what I'm saying? I also seen Oscar De La Hoya say that, you know, he's not giving Shakur Stevenson the William Zepeda fight unless he signs with Golden Boy Promotions. So that lets you know everything you need to know. And Oscar De La Hoya's head, obviously he's not going to admit it. He's not going to admit that his fighter doesn't stand a chance with Shakur, or, you know, he doesn't believe in his fight or anything like that. But he's letting you know, just based off of the little statements that he's been making, that he's not going to feed his fighter to Shakur Stevenson unless he's benefiting from Shakur Stevenson. He's not going to let Shakur Stevenson, who's currently a free agent, go and, you know, beat the shit out of one of his fighters or dominate one of his fighters, drop his fighter's stock, and then allow Shakur Stevenson to walk out the door with the benefits. You know what I'm saying? It was similar to what was going on with PBC and Jaron Ennis. PBC and them really didn't want to boost those opportunities against the guys like Barrios and Stanionis and Thurman and shit like that, because, you know, Jaron Ennis wasn't signed to them. So if they're not going to benefit off of Jaron Ennis cashing out on one of their fighters, then they not gonna give him the opportunity. They'd rather keep that shit in-house and, you know, have him fight against other fighters that happen to be a part of their stable. That's what a lot of these dudes do. Unless it's a substantial amount of money that they cannot refuse, then they're not gonna cash out their fighters. They're just not gonna sacrifice their fighters to you. And that's just the business of boxing. You see what I'm saying? So I see exactly what Oscar De La Hoya and them is doing. You know what I'm saying? They building up William Zepeda right now. You know what I mean? They trying to make him some type of star, just, you know, fatten him up just a little bit more before they slaughter him. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what they did to Jaime Munguia. They built him up, got him up to like 40-something and had him fighting all these guys that he was substantial favorites against, washed up dudes that was already walking out the door and shit like that. And then ultimately, they got a substantial amount of money that they couldn't refuse against Canelo Alvarez, so they slaughtered him and they ate. You see what I'm saying? It's just like what these motherfuckers do that are farmers and shit like that. They beef the cattle up, slaughter them, and have something good to eat, or they're able to sell the food that they get from slaughtering they livestock. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how Golden Boy does things. Golden Boy just fatten their fighters up just enough to be able to slaughter them and really eat off of them. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia, same shit. Kept him fighting all these nobodies. Former world champions that was clearly over the hill and shit like that. You know, guys that Ryan Garcia had no problem beating. You know what I'm saying? And then when they were able to get that Gervonta Davis fight, they slaughtered him and got the bread off of him. And they made a killing off of Ryan Garcia. You see what I mean? So they just rinsing and repeating, bro. It's just with different fighters. You know, William Zepeda, they feel like that they could get a few more dollars off of him, so they're gonna go and you know, have him fight some more guys most likely. Because unless, you know, if Shakur Stevenson signs with Eddie Hearn and Eddie Hearn gives them a big bag or something, or a bag that makes sense, then, you know, Golden Boy might, you know, turn their head and they might change their mind about it. However, I feel like at this point in time, they feel like they could get a few more dollars off of Zepeda if they get a few more wins under his belt. So that's what's most likely they're gonna do. And shout out to my homie Ree in the group chat, man, one of my guys, a part of the nation. He was like, yo, man, I ain't gonna lie, like, this fight might be bigger if it were a unification fight. And he's not wrong in saying that. However, it's crazy how these promoters could get in these fans' head to start talking like businessmen. And I told him, I'm like, bro, so all of a sudden you a fan of marinating. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh shit, like he noticed that I caught him slipping. He was like, you right. And, you know, it's that easy to be manipulated by, you know what I'm saying, promoters and, you know, people who clearly have agendas. You know what I'm saying? That's, as boxing fans, it's not our business to, you know, let fights marinate. Our business as boxing fans is to call for the biggest fights to be currently made in boxing. And when, you know, you're looking over the landscape of the 135-pound division, you know, one of the best fights that could happen is Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. Just because, you know, Shakur Stevenson doesn't have many options that are in front of him. He walked away from Top Rank. So you already know Top Rank not going to give him Baranchek. They're not going to give him Vasyl Lomachenko, at least not right now. You see what I mean? For the time being, that's not going to happen. With Gervonta Davis being possibly, you know, occupied with the Vasyl Lomachenko fight, where does that leave? Who does that leave Shakur Stevenson with? William Zepeda. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, Oscar De La Hoya, they going to hold Zepeda for as long as they can until they feel like it's the right time to cash him out. And it is what it is. You see what I mean? But I just had to call out the duckery from Oscar De La Hoya and, you know, whoever's involved with William Zepeda's team, because I was already hearing that scary language from Coach Panda and shit like that. He don't want nothing to do with his boy William Zepeda fighting Shakur. And the same thing goes for Oscar De La Hoya. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to give Shakur Stevenson that opportunity to beat one of his guys unless he's signed with him. Unless he's a part of the Golden Boy stable, Oscar De La Hoya not going for it. And he's letting you know that he got another 3 sanctioning bodies to pick from, and he's not going to let nobody dictate who Zepeda is going to fight next. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Clearly ducking. You know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya is, you know, another one bites the dust for Shakur Stevenson, I guess. It doesn't look like it's going to be too good for Shakur. And, you know, if he ends up fighting somebody else in the WBC rankings, can't nobody else really get mad because, you know, them dudes are doing whatever to help their fighter avoid Shakur Stevenson. So let me know what y'all think about this. This is Mazuma TV. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here, man. Peace.